What is up, everybody? It's your girl Minimoss. Welcome back to my channel if you're not new, and if you are, be sure to hit that subscribe button to see more content like this, because I'm asking you to subscribe before I even begin. I've redone this intro 3 times because I'm not used to people asking people to subscribe before they've even watched the video. So I'm going to repeat this sentiment at the end of this video. If you liked it, subscribe. Obviously not now, because I've not done anything except ramble like an idiot. Okay, as you can see by the title of this video, I am taking it back to the basics. And yes, that means I'm not doing anything too overly intricate with my eyes today. It's mostly just the base, the prep, and explaining in detail how and why I do all of these things, and why it is so important in my opinion. I'm not a professional, I'm not a skincare specialist, that's the correct term, and I have not studied to be at MUA before. This is purely through my personal experience, my personal beliefs, etc, etc, blah blah blah. Anyway, obviously for skin prep, one of the things I find most important before you do your makeup, I do this every single time, I will start by cleansing my face. So obviously you guys have your own cleansing products, you can use whatever you find works best for your skin type. I just like to do the easy route, and I grab some cosmetic pads as well as some micellar water. I always like to do this just in case there is some leftover gunk on my face. I don't want to be putting fresh makeup over the top of makeup that's already there if I haven't taken my face off correctly the prior night or day, depending on what it was that I did. So I just wet a couple down and then I just go to town. Once that's done, I wait for it to just become damp rather than wet, because right now that's what it is wet. I usually jump in with moisturizer. So recently I picked up the Skin Therapy Eternal Jellyfish Complex Day and Night Moisturizer. And just because I do have long nails now, what I usually do is I tend to pick up the product with the back of my nail and I just spread it like I would foundation. And my skin is quite dry. It's a combination, but mostly dry. So it tends to suck in any form of moisture that I'll put in it. So I'm a little bit more generous than most people are. Especially if I'm doing this underneath makeup, because I feel like the makeup, if the moisturizer has not been put on correctly, the makeup can kind of undo all of the good work that you've just done. I just buff that in with my fingers. In any other situation, I would not recommend these earrings, just saying. Once that's done, I go in with my eye cream. So this is again the Skin Therapy Dragon's Blood Wrinkle Repair Eye Cream, because you can't really see it from this far away, but right under my lash line I have really fine lines, and usually when I do my makeup you can see them a lot more. I like to squeeze out probably just like that much product, not much at all, and just with my ring finger I like to just dab it underneath. Dab, 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 dab. So I know I'm stealing Christine's material. Now I do have 2 eye creams. I like to use this one first just because I find it's a little bit more watery. And then the next one's a little bit thicker. I feel like it just kind of seals everything in. Like I said, my skin's pretty dry, so that's pretty much already sunken in. Then I go in with the I'm just calling it Vo. The Vo Age Regenerate Eye Cream. It's this little tube here. It was like $8, so I was like, why not? I'll pick it up. Again, I usually, actually, for this one, I squeeze a little bit out of the tube underneath, like that. Repeat on the other side. Then I just repeat the process and I dab that in. Now that the skin prep is done, I like to go in with the Professional by Benefit primer, and I just apply that to all of the spots that are a bit more pore evident, such as my nose, around here of my cheeks, my chin, and my area between my eyebrows. Then once that's done, everywhere else where I haven't put any primer yet, I go with the BYS Liquid Illuminator in the shade, in the type Strobe, and I just apply that, as I said, everywhere that doesn't already have primer, like here and below, and my forehead. I usually like my skin to be a bit tacky when I'm putting foundation on, because I feel like it has something a little bit more to grab to, but in saying that, I don't like to go overboard with the primer, so that's why I'm only doing one layer of primer everywhere, including obviously the places that are currently not sticky from the primer, or tacky from the primer, if you will. Once that's done, again, foundation is a very personal thing, that it could be depending on whether or not you want full coverage, medium coverage, or light coverage, or even light to medium. That's buildable. If you like for your foundation to be lighter than your skin tone, usually when you match your foundation, you match it to your neck, or some people, because they actually have a naturally lighter face, they like to match it to their arm or to their body. But typically the neck is the most primal place to match it to, in my opinion, just because even if you've matched it to your body, your neck still could be lighter than your body, and then you'd have an orange face, and it's just never a good time for anyone. So in saying that, I have purchased the Huda Beauty faux foundation filter. No, Faux Filter High Coverage Cream Foundation in the shade Vanilla 12OB. Obviously, I bought this online, so it's quite difficult to tell you how to find your perfect shade in any foundations. But what I would suggest is that when you're in the store, is to do a swatch on just your arm here or on your hand up here, and then go do your shopping. Make sure you delegate that foundation shopping for the first thing in the day. Then do the rest of your shopping while that foundation is still on you. Make sure you've rubbed it in a little bit, blended it into your hand, and then by the end of the day you'll see, has it oxidized, is it still like a nice finish, and if it still ticks all of the boxes and you're happy with it, then go for it. I find that's the best way, because there's been so many times where I have bought a foundation thinking it was the perfect shade, and then I go home, put it on, go to work, come home, and my face is like 3 times darker than the rest of my face. It is the worst. And I usually like to go in with a brush for my foundation. Some people prefer a sponge. I like to use brushes. I always jump between them actually. So I always like to start on my neck with whatever's remaining on my hand. As you saw, I pumped it onto the back of my hand, and stroking up in really light strokes, I blend that into my neck. If I have to go down, I will, but I try not to do that. We're fighting gravity here, people. And then for the rest of my face, I just buff it in. Sorry about my dog, I think my niece has just come over. You know, people always come over at literally the worst times. like just as I'm putting on my foundation and it's dotted all over my face, it's when people are like, hey, let's go visit Minimoss, huh? I forgot you guys didn't know my name for a second. I almost said it. Oh, my niece is crying. What happened? What I'm doing here is I'm changing between buffing it in and patting it in. Again, if anyone saw last week's video, you know that this foundation oxidizes. But right now I look like a ghost face. It goes a shade darker, don't worry. My face is prone to oxidizing for some reason. Of course, next step would be concealer. So I like to usually go in with a concealer that's like 1 or 2 shades lighter than my foundation. Obviously right now that's not going to work considering how light this looks before it oxidizes. So I usually go in with the Essence Camouflage Full Coverage Concealer in the shade Nude. And I like to apply this underneath my eyes and on any just like red spots that I would see around my face. And unlike my foundation, I like to buff in my concealer with a sponge. And because my face is so prone, like underneath my eyes is so prone to creasing, I like to buff it out, and the minute I'm done, I set it and I bake it. Like even by doing this, that my eyes still crease, but it's not as like crazy when I do this. Then once that's done, I like to set everywhere else that's prone to creasing, such as my forehead and my like smile lines. They're really, really bad. Then I just go in with a big powder brush and I attempt to set everywhere else without disrupting the baking spots, or at least try not to disrupt them as much as possible. And then while that is still baking, I'm trying my hardest to not let it crease as much as possible. It's like if I get closer, you'll see it's already creasing. Like it's already creased. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not even 18 yet and I have fine lines underneath my eyes. It's fine. I like to go in with contour after this. A lot of people like to go in with a bronzer. I have to be in the mood for bronzer. I feel like summer is the time for bronzer. Winter is the time for cool tones. So I like to go in with my Too Faced Cocoa Contour Chisel to Perfection palette, which is this one here. And I like to go in with my medium cocoa. So some people would use this for bronzing, but again, cool tones is my thing right now. So I'll grab this with any form of like angled brush, like this sort of brush or this sort of brush. So today I'm going to be using this one here. This is by Mange. Really anything that can help you really get into your contouring spots is ideal. So how to contour when you don't know how to is if you just look directly at a mirror, you can see that this, if you're not like me, but if you're like me, you can see that there's already kind of like a bit of a shadow right here. That's usually, if you have that shadow, you just want to deepen it. You don't want to make it ridiculous. Like if you're in person with someone and you're like, what the heck is that on your face? You don't want to do that. I've seen girls where they have their contouring like under here and here, and it's just like they've gone crazy with the brush, and it's just like, why? But if you're having a problem with that, doing that always helps, the fish face. Because you can see where your cheekbones are when you do that. But like I said, if you already have a face like mine and you can see them, it helps to open your mouth a little bit, disconnect your jaw, and then just pop that in there. And just like that, you've been contoured. You look like 5 times thinner than what you are. Repeat on the other side. And then underneath the jaw as well. This is to give you the appearance of a slimmer jaw, if you're like me and you have like a little bit of a double chin in certain positions. This usually helps with that. Contouring is all about creating a shape that you didn't originally have. A lot of people like to draw like a line down the chin to create like a little butt chin because it's kind of cute for some people. I just like to keep what I have in shape and like in general. Same with the nose. For the nose contour, I'm probably not the best to teach you guys about how to nose contour because I'm not the best at it, but I literally just like to pat with that same color down the bridge of my nose like this, and then repeat on the other side. Once you've completed all of that stuff, now you can brush away the excess powder. I like to grab a really fluffy brush for this. For blush, again, depending on where you want to apply it, it gives you like a different kind of feel. I like to put it up here because I feel like that just looks really seamless with all of the like contouring, blush, and then highlight. But some people like to put it here. It makes them look like they've got rosy cheeks, or that it's like been a really cold day. Makes it look a little bit more natural when you apply it to the apple of your cheek rather than up here. But I like to apply it here because it just looks seamless. Like it's a seamless transition from contour to blush to highlight. So I like to grab an angled brush, like a contouring brush, but for blush. And I like to just pat it on pretty much just above where you applied the contour. This is the Too Faced blush, Perfect Flush Blush in the shade Candy, I think? No, hang on. You'd think I would know it. I've had this blush for forever. In Candy Glow. See how I bring it up a little bit here? Not many people do that. Like they kind of just stop here and they don't like to bring it up a little bit. I like to do that because again, I like that seamless transition from blush to highlight, and I feel that kind of helps because where I apply my highlight is I like overlap that little section there. And I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, this eyebrow is a trouble child. No matter what I do, it always turns out thicker in the front. Don't ask me why or how, it just does. And then my latest craze is to apply blush to my nose, but it's just like underneath, pretty much where we just applied the contour, like here. Because it kind of gives you that really cutesy, like, oh my gosh, it's so cold, especially during winter, because it's winter here. It gives you the appearance of, like, it's been cold, so you've got, like, a rosy nose. I like to, like, channel both kind of styles, like, so this one's, like, the more blend in, and then this one's the more it's cold kind of style. This is a very particular style. I used to actually not like it, but recently I've been doing it more and more, and I am starting to fall in love with this style. But again, I think it's more of a winter thing than a summer thing. I wouldn't do this in summer, although I'm this pale like all year round. Hairdress alive, for life. Then for highlight, you would see, if you watch other beauty gurus, you would see them grab anything from fan brushes to glorified blush brushes to glorified blending brushes. I never use this one. This is a blush brush that I sometimes use, but it depends on what mood I'm in, again, because I sometimes swap between brushes to sponges when I do my foundation too. I'm like that with my blush. I always swap brushes, so I'll either use the one I just used today or that one there. And then with my highlight, I'll either use the fan brush or the glorified crease brush. And today I'm going to be using the fan brush, just because I feel like for beginners, if you do not know how to highlight, it is probably a bit more easier to control rather than applying it with a little brush like that, because you'd have to know where to apply it, and these brushes just make it so seamless and easy to know exactly where it has to go. So exactly above where we just applied the blush, I like to, in circular motions, using it the whole brush, not just like the tip, but like the flat of the brush. I like to just, in circular motions, buff that in to the skin here. It also gives it quite like a natural kind of glow. None of this like bam, but like it's there, but it's not over the top. I like to bring it above the eyebrows as well, just to connect those two styles. Then for the nose, literally, I overlap this spot here with so much product. I start with contour, then I go to blush, and then I go over the top of the blush with this, just to dull down the blush a tiny bit, especially considering this is white. This is Jeffree Star's Ice Cold. A lot of people tend to think like a pink-based brush, like pink-based highlight is best. And again, I think it depends on your skin type and color. White, I think white is probably the most complementary to lighter skin tones. Like if you're a little bit more pale, as I am, then white is definitely the way to go. Also, these sort of colors, this is the Huda Beauty Winter Solstice highlighting palette. This is for us pale girls. These sort of colors here are really nice for pale girls, as you would see, considering it's for the pale girls. So these, like the ones I probably would use the most would be the purple one, this one here, because it's a bit more reflective. It has more than just one color in it. It's also got like rosy tinges to it. And then for the bronzed girls, you'd be using colors like this. So this one's here is gorgeous though. I use this sometimes, but I feel like it can be a bit like dark even for me. It's because it's like it's a gold based highlighter, and I'm not one for gold. I don't like gold very much, so I feel like that's definitely great for someone if they've got really tan skin, but not so much for people who have really white pale AF skin like me. Once that's all done, again, Cupid's bow, sorry, skipped out on that. I'm just so used to just jumping right into it. The Cupid's bow, I just like to do that because I think it looks really pretty, especially when you add lipstick into the mix. Then once that is done, that's like my base finished. She's so cute. That is my base finished. That's like, no more has to be done on my face rather than my eyebrows. Eyebrows are the single most important aspect of any makeup routine. It makes or breaks it. If you do them too dark, the entire makeup look is thrown out. If you do them too thick, again, the whole thing is thrown out, makes you look really harsh. If you do them too thin, it gives you way too much of a delicate, barely there kind of eyebrow sense. If you're like me and you have kind of like normal, moderately thick eyebrows, but like nowhere near as thick as some girls like to draw them on, then I like to follow my shape and like how thick my natural eyebrows are, because I quite like them. Some girls, again, depending on skin tone, if you have dark hair and a darker skin tone, the really thick, like dark eyebrows really suit. If you're like fair like me and light like me, dark is not the way to go. I would go with more of a really light ashy brown like this. This is the BH Cosmetics eyebrow pomade in the shade Blonde. I like to find pomades that actually have blonde in the title, but a lot of them tend to go a little darker than what a blonde would normally reach for. So I always start at the arch, making sure it is exactly where I want it to be before I continue anywhere else. and I make sure to only take one swipe of pomade for one eyebrow, because any more than that and it will just be far too dark for me. I like to leave the front quite natural looking. I just like to define the shape of it. Et voila! Now this makeup is all about the basics, and even though this is not a basic, I like to... I think this is something that everyone kind of struggles with. I get asked all the time how I do this, and this is my winged eyeliner or eyeliner in general. Again, completely up to you guys what you like to use. I find that using like a felt tip eyeliner with a fine applicator is the perfect way to go, especially considering we're used to writing pens and pencils every day. Regardless of what we do, we write things down. So to use a pen-like object for our face doesn't give you more control. I've tried liquid eyeliners and I've tried gel eyeliners, and that's probably the next best thing for me would be gel with an angled brush like what I just used for my eyeliner, because again it gives me that pencil kind of feel, but I find gel gets dried up way too quickly. I just prefer the pen or the felt tip liners. But before we jump into that, I'm gonna quickly highlight my brow bone and my inner corner. Again, this highlighting is all about, again, creating like a new shape for your face. So by highlighting my eyebrow, it creates the illusion that my eyebrow bone is higher up than what it actually is. Just like highlighting here creates that illusion that it's higher than it is as well. And then contouring is like the opposite. It creates the illusion that it is deeper than what it is. Hence why, if you want to give yourself the appearance of a really slim face, contour and voila, you're slim. I also like to highlight my inner corner for no apparent reason other than it's just really flattering. No matter who you are, it's always very flattering. And it gives the illusion that you actually did something with your eyes when you actually didn't do anything at all. So it's a good, quick 5-second trick for if you need to get out of the house and you just simply ran out of time to do the eye makeup that you were wanting to do for the day. And the way I usually do it is I drag it up, I look up and I drag it up to like the beginning of my crease and slightly onto my lid, just because I feel like that's really flattering. And don't worry about making it too bright because we go over it with eyeliner anyway, which tends to dull it down a bit. And again, this, I would recommend to buy this, however she's completely out of stock, so don't fall in love with watching me how to apply this. But this is the Made You Look Night Owl Precision Eyeliner Pen in the shade Haunted. You can also go out and get eyeliner pens from literally anywhere else, such as Mecca, Sephora, even Daiso, if you're on a budget and you don't want to be spending $30 odd for a liquid eyeliner pen. The way I do my eyeliner, I have changed between a few different ways, but I'll try and show you the most simplest way just to make it a little bit easier for beginners. I start at my outer corner and I drag a line up to my eyebrow, stopping where I want the wing to stop. So that's where I'm going to get it to stop today. And then from the probably the outer third quarter of my lash line, I draw a line from that, connecting it to where that line ends there. like that. And then slowly I just start connecting one end to the other. And it's pretty much a guarantee at any moment you can make the line thicker than what you were wanting to, which is what just happened to me. It happens to everyone. You just have to learn to work with your mistakes. So that in the end you still create a flattering shape. And then just fill in any white space within the eyeliner. Now, lately, my eyes have been watering for like no reason, so that's why in that inner corner there, it's kind of smoked itself out. It's been really frustrating for me because I can't make my eyeliner cooperate with me. So, if you have that same problem, grab a Q-tip and roll it. And then, see, this is why I use the highlighter, because it also helps to hide smudges. And then just where the powder would have gone over the top of the line, just reapply, and voila. Now, I'm going to show you how I actually lately tend to apply my eyeliner, which is, I literally start at where the tail end is. And drag it down like so. Doing it this way also gives you such a seamless line. As you can see, it's just like this eye, it's good, but this eye, it's like just so like straight. It's just so smooth. It's great. And then again on that inner corner, and then connect the outer corner. Then when you're done that, I look at them in the mirror, or in this case in the camera, and I look to see if they're even, and as you can see, this eye is a little bit more down than this one, but that's okay because I'm just going to curl up the tail end just slightly. And it gives it that illusion that they are perfectly matched. Again, your eyeliner is like your eyebrows. It doesn't have to be sisters. Like, they don't have to be twins, they just have to be sisters. Especially considering my eye shapes are different. One eye is sloped down more than the other. So my eyeliner is always going to be different. And a lot of eyes are like that. There's no face that is perfectly that has a perfect symmetrical face. It's just unnatural to have a perfectly symmetrical face. So if you are a perfectionist with your eyeliner, you're gonna have to learn to let go of that, because I was like that when I first started, and I would spend a solid 10 minutes on my eyeliner every morning because of how much it frustrated me. And I've just learned, even though it still frustrates me at times, like currently, right now, it's frustrating me, I just have to learn to live with it and be happy with what I have produced for the day. Because if I didn't, then I would be late to everything. Then after all of that, I go in with mascara, which this time I'm going in with the Essence Lash Princess Sculpted Volume Mascara. Mascara is another very personal thing. It either works for you or it doesn't work for you. And this one works for me. So I just apply this to my upper lash and not my lower lash line, because my lower lashes are freakishly long and it's even more accentuated when I put mascara on them, and I feel it just looks unnatural. So I start by going back and forth like this. So I go like this with my wand as I'm applying it. To hopefully untangle my eyelashes. Again, my right eye is usually fine. It's the left eye that's the problem child, as usual. Today I'm only going to be doing mascara. I will do false eyelashes in another video if you guys want to see the basics of eye makeup. Obviously wing liner not included in that one. that's the mascara done. So as you can see with this mascara, my eyelashes are really activated. They're really full and long, and you can actually see them past eyeliner like this. Normally with my old mascara, because I found it didn't work for me, I would have to put on false eyelashes to actually even see my eyelashes past eyeliner like this. So after this, going in with lipstick, it depends on your preference of color and your preference of texture. Lately I've been really liking the foiled but liquid to matte lipsticks, such as Jeffree Star's Vela liquid lipsticks. There's also the matte liquid lipsticks, and just your normal everyday like lipsticks in general, and lip gloss. Lip gloss I don't like as much because you can, like, your hair will get caught in your lips all the time and you're gonna have to be pushing it away. It's just really frustrating me. And then lipstick isn't that bad. I use lipstick all the time, but my favorite would have to be liquid to matte or liquid to shimmer, like foiled lipsticks, especially if the applicator is like this, because it gives you so much control to work with. So the way I apply my lipstick is I start with my bottom lip, drawing a line down it, like so. I fill in the middle of the lip. Usually for this, I don't usually use a lip liner because I feel like it's just a waste of time for me. I like to purse my, so like my lips are normally like this, I like to do this sort of thing so I can actually see where the bottom of my lip is. Getting ahead of myself again, sorry. After that, dunk the applicator back into the bottle, and I do the same kind of thing with the top lip. I fill in under here, being sure not to go too close to the edge of the lip, and then following your natural lip shape. This is why I like to highlight there, because you can see where your lip naturally goes. So I do not overdraw my lips. I do not suit that at all. I just follow the natural shape and color in as so. Then I connect those pieces to the outer corner. And with that, we are done. As you can see, this is like the most basic makeup tutorial with like a little bit of splash on my lips, as I always do that sort of thing. But again, it's completely up to your personal preference. If you want to go natural, then by all means go natural. If you want to go bold, then you can go like this, or if you want to go even bolder than this, you can go purple, blue, black, literally any color that you like. And once this is all done, if you want your makeup to be waterproof or to last all day, then go in with a spray set, like a setting spray, like my Kat Von D Lock-It Makeup Setting Mist Spray Fix. Okay, that's in a different language. It looks like this. This one is quite expensive. You can get different kind of makeup setting sprays literally anywhere. You can get them at Priceline, Cosmetics Plus, Mecca, Sephora, the usual. I like this one, but probably my top favorite would be the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. So I just shake it and then I spray. And here you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this and you actually did find a couple tips that you could use in your daily makeup routine. Let me know down below if you found it helpful, or if it was just 30 minutes or however long I edit this down to of me rambling about how to apply things that everyone already knew how to apply. If that was the case, then let me know also how I could go into more detail about any aspect that you wanted to see more about, and I'll probably do that for a future video as well. But other than that, I really enjoyed doing this for you guys today, and I enjoyed hanging out with you for the afternoon. I don't mind. It was fun. It was fun. Anyway, I love you all so much, and this is Minimoss 16 out. Bye guys. Oh yeah, and like what I said at the beginning of this video, don't forget to subscribe. Bye guys.